Steve wakes up and realizes the monster from last night is gone. He feels a bit uneasy but goes about his usual routine. Steve goes to the chicken coop to feed the chickens. Unusual footprints near his house. Curious, Steve decides to follow the monster's footprints. He heads towards the forest but feels nervous. Steve decides to take the chicken that the monster had helped him find. The chicken follows Steve as they venture into the forest. Steve and the chicken enter the dark forest, following the footprints. The forest feels mysterious and a bit frightening. They hear strange noises coming from deeper in the forest. Steve and the chicken cautiously move towards the sounds. They find the monster holding skeleton fragments in its hands. Steve is terrified and starts to run away. Steve runs through the forest, with the monster chasing him. He feels a mix of fear and confusion. The chicken stops running and approaches the monster. Steve watches in astonishment as the chicken and the monster interact. The chicken and the monster seem to be communicating. Steve is confused but intrigued by the interaction. Steve approaches cautiously as the monster and chicken appear friendly. Steve, and he feels a bit relieved. The monster greets Steve, saying, "Hello, friend." Steve is shocked to hear the monster speak. The monster explains why it was watching Steve's house at night. Steve listens intently, eager to understand. The monster begins to tell Steve about a big problem it was dealing with. Steve is curious and a bit anxious about what he will hear. The monster hints at a dangerous situation that involved Steve's house. Steve feels a mix of fear and curiosity. Steve asks the monster what exactly happened that night. The monster takes a deep breath before answering. The monster's story builds suspense as it explains the events. Steve and the chicken listen closely. The monster reveals a crucial piece of information about the night's events. Steve's eyes widen in surprise. The monster looks at Steve and says, "But there's more you need to know." To be continued. Stay tuned for the next episode.